We can put on a happy face for the people around us and they might just believe it, but your horse is probably not buying it, and we're going to talk about why. Hi, I'm Ruby. I'm a whole horsemanship trainer, and I'm on a mission to help you and your horse to have a deeper connection and a better bond so you can enjoy more of the magic, as well as to help you to find more meaning in the slog of the day-to-day. And today we're going to be talking about why your horse seems to always know what you're feeling and how to show it more authentically for them. So first of all, I think it's really useful to talk a little bit about herd dynamics and how wild horse herds work. And essentially, because horses are prey animals, and I've talked about this in other videos, but because we used to think that horses were ruled by sort of dominance theory, and that there was a stallion in every band because he was in charge and making the decisions, and now we actually know that's not true. It's more of a democracy among the mares. However, different mares might have different numbers of votes depending on how much trust and respect they've earned from their herd mates. And so what is really important for horses is that they're able to, for their survival, is that they're able to really pick up on who's feeling heightened around them and who's feeling relaxed and calm. And you'll probably see, like, a lot of times when one horse spooks, sometimes it'll like travel down the line, all the horses around them will become heightened and agitated, even if they don't know why that other horse spooked, because they're picking up on the fact that there might be danger that that other horse is perceiving that no one else is. And so they're doing this with us too, whether or not we know it. They're able to tune into our emotions in a much more profound way. I also think it's worth noting that we have a much more developed prefrontal cortex than horses do, so we have an ability to plan, to think, to tell stories. Horses don't have, they do have a prefrontal cortex, but it's not as developed, but they have a much more highly developed emotional center than we do. So they're much more in tune with emotions, and they live in an emotional state all of the time. I actually think humans do too, but I think we're able to tell so many stories about it, and we're able to mask our emotions. And so we think that sometimes we can put on a happy face when we're not feeling happy, and others around us are going to buy into that story. But our horses are way more wise, way more tuned into emotions than we humans are, and they always know. So what I see a lot of the time is people know this about their horse, that their horse relies on them to be calm and confident. And especially people with more sensitive horses will try to make themselves calm and confident, but really underneath they're feeling nervous, or they're feeling agitated, or they're distracted, or they're thinking about something happening out in the world or at work earlier today, or something that they're thinking about for tomorrow, or whatever might be going on in their world. And all that's really real. And then they come to their horse and they're like, oh wait, my horse doesn't need any of that, and I need to shove that down and then put on this happy face and tell my horse that I am calm and confident and they can trust me. And what the horse is feeling is they're feeling all of this bottled up anxiety or nervousness or fear or apprehension or whatever's going on with this like pretend calm, confident exterior, and the horse can feel that kind of elevated bubbling under the surface, but they don't have the ability to tell themselves why. So they don't have the ability, like we do with our prefrontal cortex, to say, oh, that person's just having a bad day and they're trying to be nice, or oh, that person must be stressed out, or they didn't sleep well last night, or they're worried about whatever their travel plans for the weekend and they're just trying to put on a brave face because they're trying to be polite. Horses don't have the ability to do that. So what they're noticing is, you're feeling nervous, but you're pretending to be calm, and now I'm confused. Does that make sense? And so what I think is actually a lot more valid is just to show up however you're feeling and just be okay with that. Like if you're feeling nervous and distracted and anxious and you didn't sleep well last night, show up as that for your horse, and just like be real and raw in that. Doesn't mean fall apart, doesn't mean take it out on your horse. It just means like just acknowledge, like, I'm feeling kind of nervous today, and where are we going to go from there, right? If I'm feeling kind of nervous, are you together enough to help bring me out of it, to kind of be my therapist, so to speak, and like help me calm down so we can enjoy our ride together? Or are you also feeling kind of nervous today? Because if I'm feeling kind of nervous today and you're feeling kind of nervous today, maybe it's a better day for groundwork than for me to get on and go on that long trail ride I had planned, right? And so just coming from a place of, this is what's real, this is what's actually happening, and I'm not going to pretend, I'm not going to put a cover on my feelings, I'm going to let my horse know what's happening. The other thing that I think is really important is that it's okay to have feelings about your horse. You are in a relationship, and just like any other relationship, you are going to be frustrated with your horse. There are times you might be mad at them. There are times you might feel betrayed or let down. There are times that you're not gonna have happy, gooey feelings for them, and that is okay. As long as that doesn't result in unfairly punishing your horse or causing harm to them or acting out on it, it's okay for you to feel frustrated and to like not give them that extra cookie before you leave. Your horse will forgive you, and in fact they might actually be grateful that you're just being real about how you're feeling and not trying to pretend that that's not happening, because they know it's happening. And so stop gaslighting your horse and just let's all just acknowledge what we're actually feeling, and then we can all move on from there. So how do we actually handle these moments when we're feeling something deeply and our horse knows it and we're trying to shove it down? I think the most important thing is just to stop and take a couple deep breaths and just feel whatever it is that you're feeling. Allow it to be, but keep it contained in yourself. Don't allow it to explode out all over everybody and everyone around you. Keep it in yourself and just feel those feelings. And then if you feel like they're feelings that you can just move through in that moment, wonderful. And if they're not feelings you can move through in that moment, then assess what is the best decision, given that I'm feeling this today. What is the best decision for me and my horse? I know I probably stand in a very small crowd of trainers that believe this, but actually when I have clients that call me and say, hey, my anxiety is through the roof today, has nothing at all to do with my horse, but I do not think it's a good idea for me to get on, I actually commend them for that, and I tell them to stay home and I will take care of their horse, because if they know that they're not going to be able to give their horse what they deserve that day or to actually enjoy being around their horse, I would prefer that they take care of themselves and come back when they're ready to actually be present. So I know a lot of that is easier said than done, and I think there's a lot more to be said there, and I actually plan to do an entire series on emotional regulation and nervous system regulation for equestrians. But right now, let's just leave it at, let's acknowledge our emotions. Let's all come to an understanding that they are very real and that our horses know about them. And let's start from that place instead of starting from a place of forcing ourselves to be calm and confident for our horses when we're just not there. If you want to learn more about how to have a better relationship with your horse, watch this video. And until next time, make sure to hug your horse for me.